Westwood Instruments. They gave us such amazing instruments like Solo Strings Untamed.
Make you a big man in your people eye. Use a duppy now.
Then there was the Solo Brass Untamed. So the next logical step needed to be Solo Winds Untamed, and this is how they sound. So I'm really excited today to show you this wonderful instrument, and Westwood Instruments, they have been so nice to hand me out an NFR copy so I could test drive it and give you my first impression. And what to say, that's another really inspiring instrument. You do have, in total, you might have heard it in my demo track, a saxophone, a bassoon, a clarinet, a flute and a oboe. And just to be clear from the beginning, this is not your regular legato library that you can use, to write those legato lines. No, you have to think about it like having real players in front of you, and you would like to have the exceptional. You would like to have those improvisation, those can you do this with the tongue, or can you do that, or these things. And let's go a little bit through the instrument. If you already have one of the Westwood instruments, then I'm quite sure you are familiar with that interface. What's really cool is you have everything on one page, so you don't have to click through the various pages. And if we start with the bassoon, you do have the improvisations. Every instrument you do have 4 different improvisations, but it doesn't stop here. And that's really cool because every single note has been sampled 3 times according to the velocity layer. I can show you this here on the clarinet. You see I have 3 times the same note just with 3 different velocity layers, and now listen what happens. I mean, isn't that amazing? So you don't only have those 4 improvisations, no, you do have 3 different types within every single note based on the velocity layer, and that's really cool. Then you do have the storms with the specialty of Westwood, where you start with 1 instrument and then you get up to 12 instruments playing through the 4 variations as you dial up that mod wheel. Let's try this quickly. see, that's quite an amazing thing. Then yes, you do have a long articulation, you do have soft air. You have the surges soft. You have the surges loud. You do have a slow vibrato, which by the way, obviously you can dial in even here, or you program it to your MIDI CC controller if you wish to dial in. You have the vibrato fast. This tone soft, the tone loud. And then there are three things that I really appreciate, and I use them in the demo song. The thirds. The fifth. And really nice on this, you can hear the mechanical noises of the instrument. You do have the octaves. You do have the short notes. Nice. I have a lot of reverb on it for the song, so don't worry about that. You can get a very dry signal. Speaking about the signals, you do have 4 microphone positions that you can blend into your likings. A real close mic, another close mic, a room mic, and then a mic up the gallery. You can choose from poly to mono. You can activate the key switches, and there we come to the point that all of you know by now watching my videos. Know your tools, know your libraries. This little trick that I always use if I work with key switches, very short notes, I bring them up to velocity 127, makes them bright red, and I can easily find them in my piano roll, because in that flute track here I go a lot through the various improvisations using the key switches. This is how it looks in the piano roll, this is how it works, and this is how it sounds. So yeah, I think you get the idea. This instrument is not the instrument you just play in your legato line and you're done. No, you play in the melody you have in your head, and then starts the real work with going through the improvisation, going through the velocity layers, finding how you would like to have that note being played. And that's the magic, in my opinion, of the whole Untamed series, that you really have the possibility to tweak every single note to your likings. Well done, Westwood Instruments. Really, really well done. Quickly about the demo track, there is nothing too fancy going on. I do have strings underneath, in this case from the Sunset strings, where I go from the bottom layer to the top layer, having a sul tasto vibrato, blending in those sul ponticello tremolos. Okay, and I do have in the second part the wonderful Lost Piano from Westwood, which gives me this percussive rhythm underneath. So if you don't know the Lost Piano, even this one really worth checking it out. And then yes, here I had the bassoon, the clarinet, the flute and the oboe in the first part, and even here I did this little trick with the panning. The bassoon, I have it slightly on the right, the flute, I have it slightly on the left. Then in the second part here where I have those notes, I close this quickly so you can see it. So look at that curves, look at that curves. Work with your modulation, work with your expression. You know, with You know, with an instrument going by breath, the note comes in as the breath gets out of your lungs, you know, the note gets thinner, blend it in, blend it out, work with those things, really. Then in the second part, I bring in even the saxophone, wonderful, wonderful saxophone. It's this the magic of the Untamed series. I mean, this could be a video going on for hours, really for hours, explaining you in depth all the things behind the scenes that you should take care of if you work with this. For the longs you have to attack, for the shorts you have to attack the tightness and the release, you have an EQ, you do have the stereo width, you do have an integrated reverb. I taught you already about the Keyswitches, that you go here through the various articulations and some tech specs. It's 38 gigabyte and it's nearly 30,000 samples. But I think you could imagine, you know, going through the various velocity layers and the improvisations and the short stop notes and the flutter and the trids and the... Coffee. Always have enough coffee. I probably will do a live stream noodling with the Untamed series because it's worth it. It's worth it. You can't do this in one video. It would be annoying if I go through everything. Just one thing that I really would like to tell you, apart from the solo instruments, you get multis. And as the Project Sam fan that I am, multis, you know, they are a big thing for me. I just chosen a few, not all of them. There are many, it's worth exploring them. I do have here one which is called Deep Reeds. Now velocity. And how low can you go? Then I do have here the storms. Remember, with the mod wheel you blend them in. Really nice. I do have the big bad Bari. I could use this. And then I do have one, I really loved the name, The Last Breath. Take some time. Interesting, interesting. Yeah, I couldn't resist in my demo track. I used even the solo trumpet in this bit. It was muted, but I would like to show you even how cool it is if you do those woodwinds, you add one brass instrument. And I hope I could show you how versatile this library is, how inspiring it is to work with those improvisations. So at this point you have two possibilities if you would like to have untamed woodwinds, or you hire me. Which probably is the bad solution, or you go for the Solo Winds Untamed, which is the better solution. And I suggest, if you haven't seen my video in which I blend evolving textures with those Untamed series, then look at that video. Might be interesting for you to see even how to use it in context. And that's it from me, from my side. Have a wonderful time, make good music always, and see you in the next video or on the next live stream. Bye bye.